Hello, mate.
It's time to go dogging. Join me on a Baldurs Gate adventure. We'll be screamed at by women, we'll be chased by men, and we'll be disrespected by legend. All will explode under the might of the wolf's jaws. Beautiful environments, beautiful deaths, plenty of normal encounters, relaxing fights to enjoy, and some very not relaxing fights. Some hilarious and some creative solutions to some of the hardest fights the game has to offer. But the ultimate question stands, will I be able to break the wolf's curse? Well, welcome friends. It's been a long time since I played an Infinity Engine game, so apologies for those who enjoyed it the first time. I have a plan based around this portrait of what I want to do, but I'll take you through some of the preamble here just so you can see some of the choices that I made. We're going to go for human. We're going to go for a thief of all things. There are a few different options here, but what I really wanted to do was to choose a character that could dual wield, and thief seemed like a great option, especially because they have a kit called the Swashbuckler. The epitome of charm and grace. I mean, as soon as I read that, guys, I knew it. But look, they can specialize in two-weapon fighting as well, and actually they get very, very decent at higher levels. I think with all thieves, they get a can use any item. That will be much later as we get into Baldur's Gate 2. Now, I highlighted chaotic neutral, which is the way we'll be playing the game. But we're actually going to go for good, and there is a reason for that. First major boss completed. This is the best roll I could be bothered. It's took me about 20 minutes. 80, I'm sure in that time I was able to get more than that. Max strength, max dexterity. Constitution we don't need up beyond 16 because we won't get any more hit points per level. Intelligence 16, that's probably more than I need, but it means I think there's something Baldur's Gate 2 that needs 16 intelligence. Charisma, worth maxing just for the discount. And wisdom, let's be honest, we're not the wisest. But there are a few tomes we can get. So I'm going to go for, am I going to go for dagger? The problem with, where is it, two weapon style, is I think it might be slightly bugged with the plan that I've got. They might have changed this in the enhanced edition, but we'll go 1 point into dagger, 1 point into scimitar, and there is a reason for that. And at the beginning of the game, we'll be a picky pocket boy. I think it's worth just trying to get one skill we're really good at. And our name is Bimble Flibbltits. What else? We'll go for core rules. I don't really want to go any harder than that. That's what she said. So look at us. We look like a drow at this point. Now I've managed to mod in. I say I've modded in. Once again, Equal, my compadre, was able to amend the file that I couldn't. Unfortunately, as part of the story, having found this wonderful cloak out in the wilderness, I need to be able to pay to identify it. So let's do some of the early quests. I mean, I love this. This is pure nostalgia to me. Going past Drepin and basically trying to speedrun this part. I think at one point I was given the advice on some guide, this was when I was much younger, of going through and like doing all these quests multiple times because the experience is good. But actually, it's a lot more fun just getting them out of the way and getting out there, and it's really, really tough at the start of this game. One of the things we're going to be doing quite early on is trying to pick everyone's pockets and scum saving in order to do that. Decent amount of gold in that pot there, by the way. And here, oh, I thought we might have our first fight, but actually we get a dagger +1 from doing one of those quests at the beginning, so we're already in there with that one proficiency point that we've put in. Up to 99 gold. I'm min-maxing this. Hull should be able to give us the last few coins that we require here. And oh my god, we're rich. First thing we're going to do, try out our new magic cape. What could go wrong? Well, unfortunately, for me, I could never turn back into a human. So I'm now a wolf for the remainder of the game. And we'll see how this works out. So I can't use any attack other than... Actually, maybe I should have kept that on my... I don't think it would have made it... Look, a lot of you guys know this game better than me, right? I can see down the bottom there, you can see, and I'll change some of the resolution of this because I can appreciate it's a bit small for you to read at this point. We'll get some of these like rat quests out of the way while I just chat about what it is like to be a wolf, because I've been it for hours at this point in my life. So being a wolf replaces our basic attack with whatever weapon we'd normally have equipped with a paw attack. But what it does allow is a weapon in the offhand. So all we're really doing is putting our dagger +1 that we had in our offhand and then we're gonna have to see how it works. I don't actually know, or I didn't at this point know how far I'd be able to get, but it looked pretty good so far. Fortunately, we're about as good at lockpicking as Slingbad was, who I think resorted to just. Although I love this line, by the way. He smelled like the stables. I need to use that more often in my day-to-day life. We're now up against the second of the kind of escalating set of assassins that punctuate the world in the first Baldur's Gate game, which I think is a absolutely fantastic way of, like, often creating a little bit of danger in every area because you really aren't sure if there's going to be an assassin. Part of the game's criticism comes from people saying there's a lot of wide open areas and not that much in there. That is the strength of the game, in my opinion. That's exactly why I love it so much. And I love this little gaggle here. Gaggle of queens doing their barbershop routine. Nice little potion there. I actually forgot you got there. And I didn't remember this house in the corner at all. But look at all this pickpocket potential of these sick patients. Nice little potion here as well. I don't think I've ever been in this house in my gaming life, by the way. Perfect pickpocket. It's just the scummiest thing you can possibly do. But there you go. This is the kind of character I am. Oh, I failed. He's fallen out of bed. Oh, poor guy. Listen. No, he's got much of it. The voice acting in this game is incredible, by the way. So you're going to be subjected to me trying to emulate some incredible voice acting. But we finished Candlehold, at least in its first incarnation. And now we have some old men bashers. I don't know how long it would have taken them to kind of script this fight, but it is incredible the way it looks. They even fire an arrow at you. That is so risky. How do they program that? That it accidentally killing you? I'm guessing these arrows are kind of like 0 damage. But he's busting out the spells here. And that particular meteor, is it fireball, sorry, is incredible. Fortunately, he's using, it looks like he used a few spell contingencies, which I think are awesome.
You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream.
Yeah. Oh, and unfortunately, Immerwin's here. Let's just run away. There's only room for one woman in this party, and she's a furry. And I think that's all we need to do to remove Immerwin from the game, which is pretty good. Now, what I normally do is kite these guys around. Let's just see, because I might be wildly overpowered as a wolf. Okay, I'm definitely not. I think the issue we've got, the damage is fine, and we might be lucky enough to kill this black bear. We won't. But the issue is our health. We've got 8 out of 8 hit points. Hopefully you can now see that. I've amended the resolution to make this a little bit more friendly to the casual viewer. For those of you sat on the toilet, trying to avoid the wife. And we are pickpocketing some potential allies here, but they've got some pretty decent loot. And yeah, things like potions just going to be really helpful at the beginning.
Montalon, you are so aggravating. 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor.
Many people might say that's overacting. It's not. It's underacting, and it's incredible. We found this old man. Do you know, I'd actually love to do like an Elminster or a Volo run. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, this came out of the idea. The original plan, I think this came out of the Slingbad, this sling-only run that I did, was to actually do like a cursed item run, or like a zombie. One of the items you can get, the Iron Thorn, maybe it's called, is a ring that turns you into a zombie. And I thought, oh, let's do a zombie run. That'd be good fun for you to watch, not for me to do. We're going to zip straight to the friendly arm in as well. I never normally do this, but everything seems really dangerous. Why am I not? This is unbearable. Why am I not attacking? Is it worth using a? It's too late for that. At least when I die, the curse is broken. Now I'm gutted when I see these cutscenes. By the way, I'll tell you why. Because this is what they used to look like. And actually, I think for the time, this was legit. Like, there's a little wobble there. There's a great sound. It looks just like the game, of course. Rather than being that, like, 2D, let's just warp the... I hate the way they do those cheap cutscenes these days. That's going to be like... I know some people, like, have to, like, smaller studios, but there must be enough money there for them to just sort that out. Come on. They could have done fans would have done that for free. But look, we're getting a ring. That's why I'm doing this, because I've basically got no money. And we're going to need a lot of money just to get over the line, I think. So we're going back down to High Hedge. We've got a few little items here. Unfortunately, while we're shapeshifted, we can't put any items on that. So it's not even like we can use it for storage. And we are still actually quite far away. 575 experience. We've got a way to go. But we found a few little items, and we found this group. And I think that's going to have to be a reload. If we pull these guys one at a time, then this should be pretty comfortable. Fortunately, with the amount of hit points we've got, it really doesn't take too much for us to die in one hit. So there is going to be a little bit of scum saving here. I'd be interested to hear if any of you have done a no save run. I mean, I imagine a lot of those runs ended quite near the beginning of the game. If you had a full party, I could see how it could be possible. I do think ranged, having done like the sling only, I think ranged is very overpowered. So like 6 slingers would absolutely dominate. And we're now in my favourite shop of the game. Now he's a bit of a douche, but he basically buys everything, which is very helpful. And he can identify everything as well. So this ring, Ever Memory, is fantastic for a wizard, but it's worth 9,000 gold. So look at that. Wow. That's enough to retire on. Now the Claw of there's a few things I quite like. They're actually a lot more expensive than I remember being. I thought once we got that 9,000, we'd be laughing. I'm not laughing. Maybe things like a Wander Sleep would be quite good. We'll have a very risky pickpocket. Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, that extra intelligence isn't particularly useful. We do have a dexterity cap of 17, even though our natural dexterity is 18. But the wolf curse, unfortunately, caps it to 17 for us. So +1 to dexterity would be helpful just to get that extra to hit. Just a great little cutscene that. I just feel like getting to Beregost could be pretty good. One of the main reasons is there's an item I want in the shop. Unfortunately, the Thunderhammer Smithy is right over the other side of town. And I don't want to aggravate. I know there's a lot of spiders in this house, for instance. And I know there's a few fights in town that I don't want to be part of just yet. So let's see if we can... Oh, maybe we'll pop into the Jovial Juggler. The Jovial Gigolo. I think there might be a quest to get here from someone. I'm hoping there's not an assassin. Is that the assassin? No. I think that's in Nashkel. Yeah, I think we'll just get the quest from this guy. And of course, in every one of these places, we can just raid it now. And another quest there from Björnin. I think that's a made-up name. Björn means bear in Scandinavian. Scandinavia? Old Norse. That's an easier way of saying it. And look at this for a steal. So that pickpocket coming in quite useful already. One of the things you should always do when you're like traveling around is just check the corners of the map, because they'll often link to different areas. And once you kind of link to the area, wherever you go, you can always travel there. So unfortunately, we've come to the Thunderhammer Smithy a little bit too late, and we're also too fat-fingered to get into any of the chests here. Oh, is it interesting stuff there? Okay, we'll go back to High Hedge and just... So I don't remember that at all. My only issue with this, I wore this from a lot of the run, by the way, so I'm kind of criticizing myself here. There's not a lot of cold damage in the game. Maybe like certain areas within like Baldurs Gate 2, very useful. Icewind Dale, very useful. Unfortunately, there's so much more fire damage in this game. It's not really worth it. So this guy's doing his best to try and thief from Thalantir, is it? In High Hedge. But instead, what we're going to do is just try and pick his pockets about 5,000 times in the hopes to be successful. We were finally successful. Now, one of the things I found out is, look, it's worth having a high pickpocket skill anyway. But if you try and pickpocket rogue classes, like other thieves, it's very, very difficult. You need a very, very high roll.
What you wish done?
Oh, shadow armor. Do you know, I actually forgot this. This might be best in slot. And I can wear it as well. For a moment, I'm like, why can I not buy it? 6 strength. So I was looking at this being like, why can I not buy it? It's because I'm poor. That's why. This is what I wanted to get. So the Dagger of Venom was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to make the run in the first place. I just thought it'd be really good fun to have a Venom dagger build. And maybe like 2 daggers as well. But then I thought, I'm not really sure. But I wanted to do a swashbuckler. I really wanted to take a swashbuckler into Baldurs Gate 2 as well. But start in Baldurs Gate 1. And this felt like quite a good fun, kind of maybe slightly gimmicky way of doing it. I thought this was a flesh... Oh my god, there's a lot of this at the beginning of the game. These guys seem to share the same model as the flesh golems, so they still give me a little bit like fear, even though they're not nearly as tough, of course. But 175 experience, a few of those actually would be laughing. Gibbling, I mean, look, the risk at the beginning of the game is you're so weak. Like, harder fights are often better. Because it takes a gibbling, a tasseloi, any of these like little goblin guys are so easy just to get a lucky hit and then you'd be dead. Oh man, we're close. And this is really cool. It's like a sunken house. For a moment I was like, oh, my shaders haven't worked. But then I realized it's kind of like swampy area that they've designed here with the house that's sunk into the swamp. And this is like a pretty epic place. And this might actually be enough for us to get a level up too. Oh, nice. Hobgoblins. When hobgoblins are in their archer form, they are super dangerous. But when you get them into melee, they're really, really pretty easy. I think I managed to escape that arrow. I can't remember if I saw an arrow fly past me there. I would really like the hobgoblin to chase me so I could chase him down because I don't really want to run into his friends. I mean, there you can see like 6 damage. You'll see later on in the video how good hobgoblins are against a very famous drow. But that's something to look forward to. So the few things that I kind of want to do while we're going through some of this embarrassing start of the game where I have to scum save it. Oh, so good. Honestly, the first level is going to be so important. We're going to double our health. Yeah, mate. What a great name, by the way. Bub Snicked. Ogres on the breeze. I love the idea of being able to smell more than one ogre as well. That's pretty good. Not just one smelly ogre. Oh, we should have pickpocketed him as well. Failed. I think you'll probably be alright with that. Luckily, we are a little bit faster. Oh, I've messed that up. I don't know if I want to chase this guy halfway around the world. Little cave here to get into. And this we can use as our moment just to explain some of the things I want to try and achieve this video. So I do want to get one of every tome, especially because we want to take this character into the next game. I do want to get one of every tome just to bolster our stats, especially as we'll be doing Baldur's Gate 2 solo, and that's going to get pretty tough pretty quickly. I want to kill Dritz as well, our famous drow, mainly because I get to talk about the books a little bit, but also because it's very, very difficult to do. So that would be a good fun, I think, if we can achieve that. And then lastly, I want to do a few of the Thieves Guild quests as well. I mean, ultimately, we'll be doing the full game, don't worry. We'll be killing Sarabot if we can by the end of the game. Because I remember that fight being very difficult with a speedy ranged character, so God only knows how well I'm going to be able to do as a wolf. I think the damage I'm doing at the moment is probably, like, okay. But it's going to tail off pretty badly, because I'm not going to be able to, you know, have some of the endgame weapons, the kind of like +3 short sword and stuff you can find lying around by the end of the game. Every one of these fights terrifies me. Even the fact that this guy's got his like Star Trek uniform on scares me as well. And there we go, that's the sound I wanted to hear. The level up. No proficiency slots, that's not a problem. Additional skill points, that's what we're really after. That's the good stuff. We can get some more picky pockets. I think 80, maybe 90 is the max. I think 80 is probably going to be enough for the first game. You can criticize me if you disagree with that. We'll put some in open locks. We'll probably need to get that up to about 60 or 70 next. We can subsidize a lot of our inability with potions, but we don't want to be relying upon that too often, especially when there's just loads of boxes. A lot of the boxes in this game don't have a lot in, but it's all quite good and cumulative. And now, look, even though we've taken some damage, we're up to 16 hit points. Laughing. More cash in the bank. That's really what we're after. Warm Whispers is a pretty decent boost for this build. And that actually puts our Hide in Shadows skill. There's two parts of that, but we'll get into that later because it's unlikely I'll use that until we get a few points into it anyway. Spot this potion case. Definitely getting that. And I think I will actually identify this. I think it only, when it identifies, it gets to, you can sell it for 125. So we only make 24 gold by doing that. But it's worth just to be able to see the stats in case we want to check it out. So we're just going to go around towns. We're get basically just dogs running through houses, stealing gold. And what's this boy going to do? Nothing. I'm a wolf. Dad of Wolf came in and picked the chest and then stole all the gold. I think we know who's going to get the spanking. Boy gets sent to his uncle's house. Once again, some gold goes missing. Poor kid. But it's nice. A lot of these houses really can only be opened if you can lockpick. And actually, some of the houses in this game that you need to lockpick your way into have quests inside. So it is like a weird way of gatekeeping the fun. But it's cool because you have to be potentially a specialist character in order to access them. I mean, I say specialist character. Most people have got a thief in the party, so it's not going to be impossible for you. A little walled garden here I thought was quite cute. And all of this gold, I mean, look, it was hard work kind of going through and getting all of this. So I'm giving you a kind of compilation. But we got a fair amount of gold from all of that. Probably did about 10 houses in the end. And now we're up with Garrick. Now this is a very, very tough fight. Silky here is going to pay us an exorbitant amount of money to not ask questions. We are going to ask questions because she's probably worth a lot more experience than the other guys. But she is a mage. One of the things I remember being able to do is cast no alignment on her. And then you realise she's evil. And she immediately goes hostile when she realises that you know that she's evil, which I think is cool. Greetings, Silky. Try to threaten me? What you talk? Probably a gem seller wouldn't sound like that. Sorry. Now what I want is just to interrupt the casting of that first casting failure down the bottom. That's what we want to see. I actually think probably I should run away now. That's a decent little extra hit though. This is going to be risky. Oh my god! Look at that. Everyone. Yeah. So this is the kind of fun. I mean, look, they are really not proving to be very useful. That first hit's going to be really important. She's actually very aggressive as a mage. So a lot of those like red balls we're seeing, that's lightning, it's going to kill me. Oh no. Every time you see a red ball in front, it's normally pretty bad news for an attack skill. Any other colours normally ends up buffing, and she's cast improved invisibility there, which is not ideal. By running into here, however, we've got to run. We can interrupt the casting of the spell. We literally only just dodged that as well. Unfortunately, we are jumping down the stairs and then have to quickly run back up just to pop back inside around the corner. This is a bit of a scummy way of doing it, but without it, we can't do it. Annoyingly, every time I walk out, there's a guy I think is going to attack us as well. Oh, where's she gone? Hello? Is she invisible again? Oh no. Oh no, this is not good. That's one magic missile. I think given the amount of magic missiles she's knocking out is a good indicator of how high a mage she is. With a party of like, get out the way, dude! Oh, unbelievable, this guy.
Restore me.
Restore me. Okay, I think we're okay. What I'm going to do is maybe just... Can you lockpick this door? Nice. If we open this up, this might be an easier door to get into than this one here. The problem is she's going to just... Maybe we can use a wand of sleep that we bought. No. So that wand of sleep proved to be about 1900 gold that I really regret. We're going to have to like reload here to get her into a better position, because every time we walk down when she's down south slightly, she just gets the spell out before we get a chance. And look, avoiding these magic missiles is just going to be super important. Is it worth it now? She outspells? Okay. Oh, well, she's... That's fantastic, by the way. Holding back that lightning bolt. Oh, this is actually not a great situation. So I managed to quick save here in not an ideal spot. Okay, that's probably as good as we're going to get. We're just going to have to heal through it. quick save again. If every time we could just maybe take a little bit of damage. That's going to be bad. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any items or anything. We're actually managed to successfully hide in shadows, so we are currently invisible. But she is very, very good at fighting, by the way. So this took, I think it worked out 20 minutes of fighting this. Eventually, she ran out of spells. It does look like she might have a quarterstaff +1 there. It's got that kind of silvery hue. But a mage without spells, man. It's like me commentating without a rum in my hand. And I was right about the quarterstaff. Look at that. A little bit of extra cash. And I think now we can potentially just pocket these guys with their gems as well. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Just ignore the fact that I'm a wolf. No one seems to be too bothered. One of the nice things about more modern RPGs is they generally a little bit more capable, I suppose, of programming in when you are shapeshifted and stuff. And maybe they wouldn't talk to you, or they'd be like, I'm not talking to a wolf. So let's sell some of this. We'll keep Purgy's short sword. I can't remember exactly where he is, but we'll hold on to that and sell it back to him. We'll identify the quarterstaff. I think it should be worth about 225. 200. Okay, what was it too far off? And I forgot to talk to those guys. You gave us one more potion of defense. And I like the fact they all go off in different directions. That business, I think, venture is over and done with. Now, Carla, I completely forgot was actually in here. But this is probably not going to be a very pleasant fight. He looks like he's got splint mail on. Some kind of chainmail. Oh my god, and he hits hard. So that was on an 18, and he did 10 damage to me. So he could kill me on a crit. And I am missing.
This may prove difficult.
Okay, it looks like he misses on a 17. So, I mean, that's still like 3 out of every 20 attacks. It's like 15% chance to hit, which is pretty high. Especially when you do 10 damage. This is going well. This is going well. Please, no crit. We probably still need to hit him 3 more times. That's the problem. We need that Dagger of Venom. Dagger of Venom would have such a good... Oh, nice. That's perfect. Morale failure. He does seem to be attacking. He seems to be attacking more efficiently than me. This is... If it was PvP game, this is how people would play, by the way. They would back off. That took another like 4 minutes. It was ridiculous. I cut that massively. But from all of that battle, we got an additional Thaco. So our Thaco is reduced by 1, which is really good. It's slightly easier for us to hit. And then we can start putting some points into open locks. 50 open locks is actually very decent. It should be open. Most of like the generic chests now can be opened. Look at that. The bounty is already, for this guy, 350. I think we might be here a little bit too early. I think the assassin, I didn't realise that the assassin... Oh, Purgy's here as well. The assassin in the friendly Armin, I think might be the first one you should go up against. And this guy, maybe you should be another level or so ahead of where I was. So nice to be able to get the quest and complete it straight away. Absolute min-maxer. Efficiency. I do quite like the fact that within the Baldurs Gate games, you know where items are. But that's part of the reason why I really like Morrowind when compared to games like Skyrim. I think Morrowind's leveling is really stressful because you have to like, you can basically level badly and it kind of gimps your character permanently. But the fact that you can know where all the loot is, the best loot in the game, you know, oh, it's here, I know, I just need to go there next to get it. I actually quite like that. I don't really want to like mess around too much. Once you've explored the game quite a few times, you don't necessarily want to be like checking every chest to see if there's anything good there. And you can see just by getting that lockpick, that's another 90 experience we got. It's a slightly less dangerous way and more profitable way, it would seem, of getting experience in this game. Again, don't pickpocket a thief. It's so tough. But do pickpocket everything. Oh, nice. Actually, that's a pretty decent find. I should remember that's there. I think that's the mace of... I can't remember exactly what it's called. Like, I think it has like a stun chance. Mace of stunning. Marl. Someone was really cross with me last time for killing Marl, so we're going to kill him again. Because he's super rude. I don't want any trouble. Don't get bent out of shape. I like the fact that Marl's friend is like a New York gangster I hate your friend. Marl actually seems quite threatening. You go to enough rough pubs in the UK, you see a Marl or two. He's got slightly more hair than most Marls, but so I did actually think I can't kill Marl. I did it last time. And I do feel a bit bad for the guy. Once you get into his backstory, you realise that his son got killed, and like wanting to be an adventurer and stuff. You basically have to be like, look, he was doing what he wanted to do. It's just a horrible, like it is like some of these quests are quite like heartfelt, real like speaks to the human condition, and there's a real like sense of how acting like a noble adventurer, you can potentially like diffuse situations like this. It's not always easy in real life, of course, but it's definitely better than punching Marl in the head, potentially, even though he deserves it. Why couldn't he just stay at home? Well, if you'd let him practice his sword fighting, he probably couldn't stand all the crying. Few girls are finished. I'll be off to the bar. Yeah, poor old Marl. Marl's not known for his steady mood, so we're going to get out. 900 experience of that, by the way. Now, actually, part of me thought while doing this, I wonder how much experience I can get without killing anyone. And then from there, I don't know. I probably need someone who knows this game better to think of a good idea there. But I thought that would be quite interesting to see how high a level you can get. But I don't know what you'd want to be. I don't know, maybe like a mage who just has defensive skills. One of the things I did want to try and look at is to do like a pacifist type build. But I think there's only one item in the game that has like a thorns. And it's actually in Baldurs Gate 2. A thorns-like mechanic. You can get fire shield. I don't know, that might be a bit boring. Anyway, any ideas for fun games? Fun games? This is a fun game. Any idea for fun runs or builds, then let me know. So look, we pickpocketed. That's, it's really difficult to say. It's really easy to read. Pickpocketed Algernon for his incredible cloak. Unfortunately, we were caught having a look through his drawers. So he called the guards. So we're going to quick load that and just get out of there before anything silly goes on. Because whatever you do with the flaming fist, they're not happy about it. I remember being quite scared of the flaming, not scared, but quite intimidated by them. They just felt like they were always capable of starting a fight over nothing. The early seeds of police brutality on the Sword Coast. So we met Firebeard there. I remember him well because I once used him. I think I made a berserker, like a mage berserker. Dual class. It's not the best character I've ever made. It was incredible, and I just got through the entire game. It was solo, and it was still quite easy. But I think I used that guy just to level up a lot. I used to just run in, kill him because he's worth like 9,000 experience, something, or maybe like 4,000 experience, and then just restart the game, go through the Candlekeep, go straight to that, and kill him again. Nira is exhaustingly annoying, by the way. She's got that kind of like, I don't know, part of the reason I don't want to play Baldur's Gate 3, she's it. Not because she's in it, I just imagine there's going to be a lot of exhausting characters like that. I prefer Ekandor here. Only the most precious reward imaginable. Your naked body. Definitely rather like the menacing characters than the happy-go-lucky, wisecracking, sarcastic, you know, young, good-looking mage. I mean, come on, guys. Now, what we're going to do is maybe let her die here. What? Okay, I swear that happens every time. Color spray is one of those things. Maybe you see it once or twice a decade. But when you do, you're always low level, and you always get knocked unconscious. Now, this is classic hero stuff here. Just having a quick nap next to Nira as she gets sliced into pieces by this bodyguard. We seem to be in a fortunate position. Her wand looks bent, by the way. I hope that's her wand and not something from my body. Oh, it's a sling. Okay. Definitely looked like it had a ball in it. I was hoping it wasn't something important to my wolf body. Oh, I'm a woman, though, so it wouldn't be. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful here. I don't control Nira here, so I'm not quite sure what to do. I think he might have... Has he got no weapon to attack with? I'm not sure. But we can make the most of hopefully the experience from killing him. What is she doing? Oh, she's just casting random spells. Oh, 350 is actually pretty good as well. A Thane wizard.
I am really sorry about what just happened.
Oh, that's just so cringe. Yeah, I just hate it. The idea of having her in the party honestly makes me shiver. Maybe I'm just too old for this now. I really. Oh my god, I'd slap her. The third, really, it would be an involuntary slap, and I'm sure the Flaming Fist would side with me on that one. Some crackingly good items here. Look at that. I could have saved myself some money. We're back at the smithy here. I'm hoping now we're going to have enough cash. I think we're almost there. Unfortunately, he doesn't buy everything, which is quite annoying. The Stupefier. I should have remembered that. What a great name for a weapon. 750's okay. Yes, it's got a 10% chance of stunning, which I think is very cool. About my hit rate for women. Not hitting women. Women finding me stunned. It hasn't worked. I'll move on. The Dagger of Venom. We have enough money. Look at this. So it's +2. The Thaco technically is -2. So it's +2 to hit. +2 to damage. Damage isn't high, but it does have a really good extra ability there, which is a chance to poison. That Björnen. I love this guy, Oogie Wisham. He's like creeped out by paladins, and you know people would be like creeped out by different classes and stuff. Fandangled Nibbler. I think you pay extra for one of those in the brothels of Baldurs Gate. Now this is a very, very risky house, and I don't like what I'm doing here, but I'm glad I did. Now these guys are worth EXP. It's big EXP. However, they're huge spiders, and there's 4 of them, and they can poison if they hit me. However, I can also poison. Oh, level up. Nice. Okay, that's really decent timing. What do we want to do here? So, open locks. Do we need to do something like find traps? I just feel like we're potentially coming up to the mines now. I'm going to need it. Scimitar, dagger. Which one do I want? Probably... I do want the scimitar eventually. I don't know how many more proficiency slots we're going to get. 2 weapon style would be great, to be honest. It probably would help massively. But I've got a feeling it's bugged. In my heart, I think it is. They might have changed that, but I just can't risk it. I think the fact that we've got that dagger now... Let's do it. That should compensate for the fact that it's on the offhand anyway. At least partially. So first attack goes well. We've got that extra 8 hit points now as well. So we're up to 32. Which is very, very decent. Even if we get poisoned now, we should be okay. But the damage we're doing here is very decent. And you can see now we're seeing that offhand attack roll. 1 + 4. So even though we're rolling critical misses, that +4 is actually pretty decent. And within here, there's quite a few items. I actually wasn't sure if I needed all of this. Part of me was like, I actually feel like, for whatever reason, you need to bring it all to the guy in the friendly arm in. So I'll take the lot, and if we have to chuck it in a hedge, so be it. I've recycled enough now at this point in my life. I think I've earned a few roadside fridges. To me, in the UK, that's the classic like fly tipping thing. Like people just chuck their old fridges and stuff in a hedgerow, in a ditch next to the side of the road. That's the classic fly tipping. That's when you know you're getting north of the Thames. I mean, the kobolds have got nothing on me now. It's nice that all creatures in this game give you experience. So the kobolds are always going to give you low experience, 7. To be honest, so low it's often not worth fighting them. Because hobgoblins give so much more experience, and they almost feel as dangerous. Maybe not when they're shooting arrows, then they're very dangerous. But we've just hit like every level here makes quite a big difference in this game. You don't get that many levels. So everyone makes quite a big difference in terms of the amount of health you've got. And more often than anything, your chance to hit that Thaco rating. Once that gets better and better. Nice little green area here. You know, in real life, there'd be like a path carved where that woman is in purple, just up towards the entrance of the friendly army, and there's no way people will be taking the path around. Now, there are a few guards here. I think they've been well placed in order to aid in the fight here, so I'm gonna maybe just stand by this door as well. Hi, friend. Is your name Bimble Fibbletits? Do you know, if you said that and it wasn't, he could be in some trouble. Whoa, what a hit. He's panicked already. What an incredible fight this is turning out to be. He's off. We want to get the kill, though. We don't want the guard to. Oh, attack of opportunity there. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for him. Is he going to recover? Oh, nice. 120. Oh, it's not even worth it.
I can carry no more. I've started dropping things.
If you've got a scroll case there as well, I can't remember if I mentioned when we picked that up. The one we're missing is the gem bag, by the way. I do find a gem bag very late in this. So for those that know, yeah, I'm sorry. It's now so obvious to me, I will never miss it again. I believe we probably need to talk to Khalid and Jaheira in order to progress the main story. I'm not 100% sure, but it's always nice just to see these guys. Especially because, I mean, Jaheira, I don't like. But Khalid, love him. What a great character. I just remember maybe from my first playthrough, I had those two guys in. And then Minsk, and then we all went off with, not Monteron, Edwin, and rescued Dinah here. And that was just a great time in my life. So yeah, Buckley's Buckler there, I just mentioned, actually gives us a... Nice! It actually gave me a idea of maybe losing the Dagger of Venom and just benefiting from the, you know, extra armor class and extra constitution. Because the extra constitution, it probably won't make a difference to hit points. It's only if we maybe use the Claw of Kaglaz or whatever it's called, which does have a constitution hit, I think. What is the meaning of this intrusion? I actually went initially for a very high-pitched. It was really good, in my opinion. However, my microphone cut it off because I have to put like a voice effect on this just to make it slightly nicer for you to listen to. Unfortunately, that cuts off some of my more extreme accents. Landrian here, so I'm very glad that I took his boots and I took that bottle of wine. And I think maybe a spider body as well there. Because they all give gold and they all give experience, I think, so... Look at this, well worth it. And actually, it's cleared us out. About time you showed. This is well, actually one of the other great plans we've got. I've never completed the Golden Pantaloons quest, and I will be doing it. That is my promise to myself, not to you. But at some point in my life, I will complete this. So we have now, maybe it's a bit premature to be picking these up now, but that will be a permanent fixture in our inventory. You can't actually wear them, but you can put them in your bag. And sometimes that's good enough. Jora's Flame Dance Ring, which we get for killing some hobgoblins, I think, outside of town, really confused me at one point, because I'm assuming I had to hold it for her, because it was a reward. We're into Nashkel already. And this is, I mean, like, this is terrible. I don't know why they replaced a lot of the cutscenes with that rubbish. So we didn't get the actual cutscene for Nashkel yet, because we are technically in the, like, Carnival area just next to it. But this is just a lot of fun, just to walk around. Away with you, beggar! I love the fact when people run away, you could just spam pickpocket on them. Unfortunately, oftentimes they don't have anything. I was desperate to win on this, because I'm like, eventually they must let you win. It just must be, no, you can never win. Now, the Great Gazebo Show is probably one of the best shows in the... They still scare me. Whoa! I don't remember the Amazing Ooper. I'm guessing Ooper isn't a super fan of being exploded over and over and over again. Maybe I should be trying to pickpocket him every time. One of the things that you'll find with a lot of ogres is they have just terrible, terrible equipment, and yet are so dangerous. Every swing of that just absolutely terrifies me. Their chance to hit, I think, is relatively, like, probably 10%. But when they hit, I mean, that's 13. Not on a crit. One crit, we're dead. There it is. 28 damage there from the Amazing Ooper. We should be playing as the Amazing Ooper, as far as I'm concerned. I wonder if there is a character who would be quite fun to play as. Like, I think an ogre might be a little bit too easy. But maybe like a party of goblins or something could be quite good fun. If you guys have got ideas, let me know. But part of the reason I get so inspired is, or like part of the reason I do a video is because something just tickles that part of me that gets inspired. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. or a great challenge or really interesting, just to see how it plays out. So a lot of the fun of these games is just, it's a bit of a story. This is just a way of making an excuse to play through the game again, really.
I lay claim to this.
Now this is a very valuable part of the game for me, especially because our pickpockets is more than capable of... I don't know where they're putting those pearls, by the way. There's not a lot of pocket space in those. But we know what this guy's up to when the temple closes. Plenty of potions were just... These are actually very decent. The temples are really decent places to pick up potions, by the way. Don't let me forget that next time. We are hitting that poison every now and then. Unfortunately, it's normally when creatures die. Nothing's really got that much health at this point. Except for me, knocking 32 now. There is a whole, like, gaggle here of hobgoblins. I don't really have the armor at this point to take on too many. But we're saving up. We'll save up for that +3, I think. Ultimately, I think we probably want Dritz's armor. I think I can wear that. Zargul. Does Zargul look like he's going to be tough? Zargul want all your money. You have to be joking. You stupid. Oh, that's why they're dangerous. Yeah, the bows. We've got to get... Let's just interrupt that straight away. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Once they got their blunt swords out. Hitting me with a flat part of the bow. Whoa! Okay, they're gods of war. Okay, let's not do that. We're just kind of wandering around finding some of the hardest encounters in the game here. Now, this guy here... I'm guessing this is... the fact all those skeletons have crossbows. Yeah, this guy is creepy as anything, and it doesn't go well. So we'll come back to those guys when we're a little bit stronger. We did pick up at the temple that stone to flesh scroll, and then of course I immediately pickpocketed this guy right next to her and found you could just get one from him. What annoys me about this, and they should sort this out. Oh, I like the fact the guy was called Zeke as well. But yeah, the quest here with Branwen is pointless because even though I've saved her, I get no experience for it, so it's just a waste. But we do find Zordral, and this like just incredible, like immediately tense encounter, which we call his bluff. I did the dialogue options here quite a few times, and I just couldn't find a way of saving her. But to be honest, I'd probably rather have her equipment anyway. That's the chaotic, neutral part of me. This witch will die. You inbred. She's dangerous. She's got blonde hair. She's got a decent pair of potions on her as well, by the looks of it. Not sure if Bentha's the most sexy name I've ever heard, though. Looks like she's managed to whip off her clothes in a death throw, which is definitely a party trick. This guy looks... The problem is he's in a really, really bad spot. Because I've got one of the best skills in the game, which is... It's called tent zipping in and out of. I can zip and unzip a tent really quickly. Is he going to come out? Or is he a bit embarrassed? The mouse acid arrow is a really dangerous spell. It's just so annoying. It does no damage. It does no damage times 2 because it hits twice. But the most annoying thing about it is its casting time is so low. Nice. Okay, we're just having to like crack through these mirror images now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think basically your chance to hit, if you do hit, it has a chance of hitting each one of the images equally, but including the actual mage themselves. Oh, that's another annoying one as well, the minor drain. So that is going to heal him up if he's successful in casting it. I mean, 4 damage doesn't seem like a lot, but I actually only have 24 hit points at this point, and that's after gulping some down. Yeah, I mean, he's full health from all those nonsense spells. I think the thing is he's probably not got many hit points because he's a mage anyway, so it looks like he's healing up quite sufficiently. But at this point, once you start hitting your dog with a stick, come on, man. Give it up. You'd be better off climbing on that barrel, to be honest, and hit me from the top of the barrel. This is an epic pitched battle here. The animation on that cloak, by the way, is very, very good. Oh, fantastic. Love a good explosion. Right, let's go and pillage his girlfriend's corpse now while it's still warm. Yep, I love that. Yep. Take all that. we'll leave the stick. And this is the cutscene when you get into Nashkel. Which I love, by the way. Especially because of the impending doom that Dad and his wheelbarrow completely missed. But the cutscenes, I don't even know why they bothered. I'm guessing it was just too... AI wasn't quite there when Beamdog released this enhanced edition, because that was some time ago, wasn't it? That they couldn't, like, upscale this. It feels like there's time for them to do it now, though. Upscale the FMVs. Nuba here. Nuba, even when I know what to do to try and get him to go, he takes a lot of time. But that's 400 experience. Again, back of my head, we know there's a possibility of getting max level by not fighting. That might be the video, by the way. I think that might be impossible, but you never know. You never know. I'll have a think about it. I'm skulking around the farmlands here. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for some green armor. I thought it was up here, and I literally looked everywhere and I was like, I can't find this anywhere. The last little piece of farmland. And there it is. I didn't realize there's a pearl there as well, which is quite nice. But they gave the Ankeg plate mail. Normally something that's a real pain to have to get, because you have to get an Ankeg plate later on in the game. And Minsk here. Now, if you don't want to help Minsk, don't talk to him. People also got a bit annoyed that I killed Minsk in the previous run through, but yeah, this guy. Whatever you do, if you don't be like, yeah, join and help me out, then he will take it personally. But I did want to just check. Well, I wanted to check Boo, the miniature giant space hamster. And by getting Minsk to join and then leave, we get 2 gold, so well worth it. We get the main quest there from Gaskill, is it? And then I think Nira might be... Will you not reconsider? No. Now, what I'm going to do here, because I'm a little bit scared of Nira, is try and find the town guard. They generally patrol. We have to be careful. That's probably whole person. Yeah, she's a cleric. So we're going to get all these whole person skills coming out. And they normally have like 2 or 3 at least. That was actually a bit risky of me running out too early. That looks like it's going to be some kind of flame attack. Oh, nice casting failure. I think Rasad there is joining in. He looks a bit silly with it, I'll be honest. No, I wouldn't recommend kicking someone like that. Oh, that's cool. He's got a great portrait, though. It looks awesome. Oh, nice little magic helm. We're taking a lot of this stuff to sell. I don't think the club's worth anything. I think the helmet might be worth this era as well. I wanted to see... I was like, oh, I haven't got a helmet on. Completely forgot. I couldn't wear one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's anything... A lot of the other games like Icewind Dale, you get things like the Ioun stones and things like that. Nothing. Nothing for me. Eyes of Truth. Few like infravision items at the beginning, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if infravision has anything really other than like a role-playing kind of fun. I think it might, when you're in the mines and stuff, highlight enemies red, but it's not like you're going to miss them. So that Ankeg plate's been sold, amongst many other goods and wares. Ooh, and we'll see actually now we've got to level up. Whether we are scared of hobgoblins or not.
This may prove difficult.
I'm guessing they probably still need like 17 or more to hit. So this is still pretty risky. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible to watch. He should have run. He should have run. So let's actually progress with the campaign. Oh, look at this. Just visiting my family, and they are not pleased to see me. Someone else has moved in. These war dogs, I don't think you see war dogs really. There's one other area at time you see war dogs, and I think you have to fight 6 of them and the trainer, and that is a really, really tough fight. So I think they might have phasing as well. It's very weird. Oh yeah, I love this little like prism fight. Prison fight. Prism fight. And here's Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fight Grey Wolf. He's very tough. I think it was easy enough for Slingbad just to kite him around. even though I wasn't super speedy at that point. Is it worth me trying to pickpocket? Right, he's got nothing. I think the only thing he's got is just an incredible talent with a sword. He's after me as well. Oh, God, and he's also got a very decent sword as well. Looks like it's got +1 to cold damage on hit. Wow, okay. So whatever I did here, and I think I got an achievement there in the bottom right, you can see, by letting him kill Prism. I thought, use my big brain, or just put him to sleep. That wand of sleep, I think I chucked it on the floor in disgust. Nothing I could do. We'll have to leave that fight for another time. I don't think he's got anything we necessarily need. A few things that might be quite nice to sell, but he's just very, very good at combat at this point. Let's be a good boy, get permission to go in. We got it, and we're heading in. Level 1 of the mines. Just about to head out there. Didn't realize the mines are in this direction. So cool, this, like... This actually really feels like a working mine. As best as I can. You'd probably expect the train track to be leading out of the mine. That would maybe make a little bit more sense. But these like big staging areas and stuff, I mean, it's without supports here, I'm guessing this probably would collapse, but it's just a really, really cool map the way it's kind of laid out. And these poor guys having to work here. And all of them like struggling with the idea that there are rumors and people go missing and you can't really believe what people are saying. The worst part, other than the lung damage, the fact that you have to do it naked, the pay's pretty bad as well. And it's super dangerous and you could die from all of these attacks. Is that the iron that they're actually pulling out isn't any good. So it really is a dying industry here. This is why kobolds are so dangerous, by the way. Like, it's worth nothing to me, 7 experience, but 1 hit from a bow. And actually, thankfully, we've now got Cure Light Wounds as one of our skills. It's something you get being the main character. You get that after kind of sleeping and progressing the story. You get a few of these like natural abilities. And that one, the most important one. I say most important. You get Drawn Holy Strength or whatever it's called later on. A dragon? I think I remember being like, a dragon already? Oh, that's so cool. Not quite like that, but man, they more than made up for it in Baldurs Gate 2 with the dragons. Really looking forward to playing it again. It's been many, many years since I played Baldurs Gate 2. And my plan will be to kill every dragon as well. That will definitely be easier said than done. But we've got lofty ambitions for someone who's currently stood in a puddle, struggling to kill kobolds. But all good things will happen to us if we persevere and save as often as possible. And yeah, sleeping in these mines is very risky activity. Fortunately, these guys don't have bows, so I can just enjoy killing them, but it's risky stuff. And also, I don't have a gem bag, so all of this like jewelry that's dropping is just not worth a lot and quite annoying. Yeah, I know where the gem bag is. Yeah, I know where it is now, but where were you when I didn't have one? I think this is the second time I've tried to sleep, and there's more kobolds. I'm not going to be too precious. Eventually, we got to lie down on the rail tracks and get a few minutes. I do find now I'm a little bit older that actually a 15-minute nap. The trick to a nap, by the way, is not to make it too long. If it goes over 40 minutes, you're dead. You're ruined. Because you won't get REM, but you'll start slipping into it. And then when you wake up, you get really, really groggy. Nobody told me that for ages. And then I kind of like I don't know, read or found it out. And I was like, oh, you just don't sleep for too long. And then you get all of the rest of a nap. You'll never get the full rest because you need to sleep for like 4 hours to get a proper like REM bout. But yeah, sleep for 15 minutes. If you're really tired, shouldn't have stayed up so late last night, huh? But yeah, 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, game changer. These days, I'm more tired, I think, by other people, by my actual life. So yeah, just spending like 20 minutes just lying on a bed, just not having to talk to people. That's normally all the rest I need. So cracking through the mines here, and we find miner Kylie, who's one of the people we had a quest for. We've got his dagger. Kylie has his dagger once more, and seems a lot less nervous. My uncle used to work in a coal mine, and he was about the toughest person I've ever known in my life. Like, his hands were about the same size as my entire body, and he could crush you with his face almost. But look, I'm sure if you got close enough to him and he just frowned, you'd get crushed between the furrows of his brow. Yeah, the man was an absolute tank. So the idea that miner like gets a knife and be like, it doesn't matter if it's a dragon or whatever, I'll be all right. Kind of holds up. So look, there are just a lot of kobolds to have to get to. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to show you every fight here, so I might try and speed through some of them. This one was particularly good fun. The first time I kind of like just felt pretty strong, on the cusp of like, this is still quite dangerous because I'm taking a few hits. But I was like, man, if we end up actually killing all these, that is pretty cool. Yeah, and they are actually pretty satisfying to mow down. The only annoying thing is there's so many. You probably have to kill 100 or so to get through this whole mine. We can keep healing up, keep resting. And I have a feeling there's a trap across here. Just in my heart. I'm going to be like a little bit cautious. Maybe just... Yeah, I'm so glad I did that. I mean, they've designed this for the Minsks of the world to charge in and get hit by whatever awful trap they've got planned there. Probably like a web or something. Really unpleasant. Nice, okay. But luckily we have that sweet adventurous intuition. And also Mike's RPG Center. I do really like Mike's RPG Center. That's like my go-to Baldurs Gate, Icewind Dale, kind of like guide, map kind of thing. If I'm not sure where something is or where I need to go, I'll have a look at that. A bit like basically having a strategy guide, which I love. I mean, I've got strategy guides for games I've barely played. Or in the case of like the Dark Souls games, I've got strategy guides, and I've got Elden Ring one. I could never get a Bloodborne one. It used to really annoy me. It was always so expensive. I think I saw one once for like 40 quid, and I was like, it seems too expensive. But now I think they're like twice that to buy. But I've got one for like Dark Souls 2. I don't think I've got a Dark Souls 3 one. Maybe I do. I've got an Elden Ring one as well. I basically never read them. They're just really nice books. It's like the sad bachelor, gamer bachelor coffee book, isn't it? But I love it. This is a little bit of a conundrum here because I don't want to charge in because I'm almost certain there's a trap there. But these guys just don't really want to do anything other than shoot me from afar with an arrow, which in fairness to them is a very good strategy. Let's take the high road, as the Scottish would say. We're just going to have to charge in here. I think we'll just take the hit. We've got the health to get through this. And actually, there ended up being no trap there whatsoever. The more I look at that bridge, the less I like it as well. I think they could have maybe done a slightly better job there, but it's still very cool and iconic. It's just such a shame they don't want to... I mean, imagine if they did a remaster of this. Wow. With like really, really good graphics. That would be extremely cool. Because I actually think the game really holds up well. I remember when Icewind Dale came out, a few of the reviews were like, oh, the system's getting a little bit tired. Well, for you maybe, but for me who loves it, I will continue to play and buy these games for the rest of my life. But a game like Diablo 2 and the way they remastered that, or resurrected it, yeah, it's so good. And it's really like breathed a whole new lease of life. I mean, it gave birth to me making YouTube videos in the first place. So if they did it with a game like this, really like got a decent studio, even if it was the same guys, what are they called? Quantic Dreams? I can't remember now. Vicarious Visions? If they got Vicarious Visions just to do a game like this, I think they do a fantastic job. They've got a track record now of just smashing out the park. Now after all that like ranting, we've been able to get to the very final area in the Nashkel caves. I'm just kind of jumping up here just to have a bit of a clear through. We'll clear out these kobolds here. I've got a feeling there's someone around here. Yeah, exactly. Ghouls are horrific. Look at that, and that's it. Game over. We're dead. This is why at chill adventuring you'd have to do it in a group, because things like ghouls and carrion creepers, one hit without like a ring of free action, which I'm guessing for like a, just want to come on guys, let's go in that cave. I mean, people would die all the time, wouldn't they? I would be dead, definitely. My friends and I would have definitely gone into a cave. We definitely would have been attacked, and I definitely would have died. And I would have died to a ghoul. I would have died to a carrion creeper. Absolutely. But not before I kicked a kobold's head off. Definitely on the bucket list. Nice little swimming pool here. Little indoor sauna. We are currently hiding in shadows, which is why they can't see us. A painful endeavour when hiding shadows is so low and having to keep clicking it and waiting 6 seconds. But we can rescue, or at least let him know that we're here, Zan, who I think we met the cousin of in Icewind Dale.
I thank you for my freedom, friends, for I have languished in these dismal vaults too long.
Incredible voice acting there. Incredible. All of this. The only accents I don't like are the kind of occasional incidental. You can tell it's just somebody works on the game who's doing a bit of like an American accent to do something. That, to me, is a little bit immersion breaking. Marl's friend in the bar is a good example of that. Hey, come on. And this is cool. Like, bits like this I really, really like. When you think, oh, I have to fight him, but he's just going to let me take the documents, and because I've managed to convince him with my high charisma. You fool. Minions! That's definitely the character I'd want to play, by the way. Minions, attack! Just hold on. Let me just organise this a little bit. Let me put my backpack back on. Just need to sort this out. May as well put that ring on, to be honest. Joseph's greenstone ring. A ring I've once accidentally sold and couldn't remember where. And I felt legitimately terrible for being so callous. So we managed to hide in shadows here, which is nice. And we can maybe have a bit of a viddy to see what we're up against. Oh, I'd love a cleric here. Bit of a turn on dead on that. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. I think maybe just take out the kobolds in case they're archers. I think that's a whole person that we got to get out. Go, go, go. Oh, it's rigid thinking. That's basically like a cleric version of confusion, by the way. Although it sounds like it should be the opposite. Nice that we've managed to like separate the pack slightly. These skeletons don't seem too tough. It looks like they're unaffected by the dagger venom, which checks out. But the bones definitely be crunched. See if we can maybe... There's another spell coming in. We've got to be careful. They won't exit this area. It's good and bad. It'd be nice if we could pull some of these skeletons out. Just so I don't have the danger of this guy just rocking up. Mulaney. Tips Fedora. Looks like we're having a bit of a slap fest here. This looks like he's got some pink sunglasses on as well. I think it's worth running away from that. It probably is whole person. I'm just waiting for it. Yeah, it's the old classic. It's a cleric trope at this point. Whole person. I'll get through the whole persons. We'll edit that through. That's a red spell, which means it's going to be some attack. Spiritual hammer. That's a dangerous one. Even at his level, it shouldn't be too bad. It's probably only like a +1 warhammer, but it does have like plus. I mean, it's a +1 weapon. Oh, and actually, we forgot about these likely lads. I thought we killed most of the kobolds, but wow, huge group of them as well. Maybe it's worth just getting rid of these just in case. I say just in case, it's just a little bit messy. We can leave that cowardly one behind him. Nice little hit there, very decent. Critical hit. 18 piercing damage. The damage is decent, I've got to say. Oh, nice. I yield. Thank you for mercy. And then we're going to immediately attack him. And it's going to be a bit embarrassing. He's like, what are you doing? There we go. Father! If we do ever play a character, we're probably playing Kobold Mulaney, like a Ratman type redemption story. So look, this took me ages in Slingbad to read the letter and realise it's transig we need. And it's even been kind enough to put its location there. So Felder Posts Inn is our location, but we have to go via this grey ooze, which is unfortunately taken on some kind of sentient form. I was trying to explain to my children, as you do in a bedtime story, about how dangerous like a gelatinous cube could be. They failed to grasp how dangerous. a goo could be. But that is like nightmare fuel for me. The idea that you can walk around dungeon, just step in a grey goo, and they'll just start like gripping onto you and sucking the life from you. I think this is the point we actually ended Slingbad Part 1. We're not ending this yet, don't worry. This almost certainly will be a two-parter, I'm afraid. If that upsets you, then I'm sorry. But what I suggest you do, if you enjoy, is hit the like and subscribe button. It feels awful doing this, by the way. I actually hate it when people do this. But if you do want to see part 2, then do hit subscribe. I've already edited the second part, and I'll probably try and do the voiceover tonight as well. And then I'll put the video out in a week's time, because that seems like an appropriate amount of time for you to reflect on some of the jokes. Some of the highbrow jokes here that may have gone over your head. Now we're the hero of the town. Let's go around and rob them of every single valuable they've got in every box and chest possible. Fortunately, we're still failing on a few of those lockpick checks, which is really irritating. We found Samantha here. I wonder why she's a named character. There must be some quest here. Little did I know. I'm nothing special. You're a very pretty woman, Samantha. That's nice of you to say. Tips Fedora.
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me?
Jamie Lannister here. Lecherous brigands. So good. The writing in this game is absolutely peak, by the way. I absolutely love it. There's a few bits in the final credits we'll do at the very end of the second video where they quote some of the inspiration, some of the books and stuff. But I'm really interested if you guys have read any of those books before, but that'll come in the second part. Master, you've returned. 200 gold. 200 gold. Don't get out of bed for less than 5. Nice few interesting bits and pieces. And actually, I'm quite glad we got rid of that holy symbol. I couldn't remember if that we ended up like carting a few of those around at some point. Oh, that might be Icewind Dale, by the way. One of the pairs of boots there we got, which I kind of should have mentioned, Talos' gift, is a really decent one, by the way. Decent bit of money now we've got as well. Eye of Death. Nimble, badass, by the way. And at this point, you're like, well, we've done this area. No, Nimble's here. And he's also a mage. I always thought Nimble was just quite a cool character. And, man, he's really messed up my party before. I think he's got just some annoying spells, like confusion and stuff. So let's run. Let's just leg it. We'll wait for the god. Here they are, the lads. I don't really need the experience as much as I need him to die. But if we've got 3 archers... Oh, and there you go. It's exactly what I was worried about. The horror. Oh, nice. Oh, damn. He really is going for me as well. Oh, what? He's dead already. What the hell happened there? Prasad with the critical hit. Incredible. I'm just horrified by what I saw. I will try my best to skip through as much of this because these spells last way too long. Look at this free loot. Oh, find familiar as well. Bimble Flibbltits, the menace of the Sword Coast. Yeah, find familiar is one of those like peak spells when it's just one spell in the game and there's so much to it. It's so cool. What I really liked is the fact that you could put your familiar, I think, in your bag. So you didn't have to worry about them being around all the time, but you could get them out and they could like pick pockets or pick locks and stuff or whatever else they need to do. And I think some might have been like immune to petrification or other stuff. So they were quite useful for like different fights. Did you find Joseph? He's dead, love. Dead as a dog in a skip. I'll be keeping the ring. Just a terrible human being. Now, we're going to be nice, of course. I do feel quite sorry for her. Even though she is just a video game character. But the way they make this game kind of like pulls you in. And the Flaming Fist wanted to meet me, and I was a little bit worried about not meeting them in case they're just very aggressive. So, but she's ended up being like, I want some bandit scalps. But Tranzig, we know, he's our man. A man on the inside.
Seems to me like these men want a little trouble.
And he sounds like he might be Italian, which is unforgivable. I love the way he's like, my magic skills. I hit you with my pasta blaster. I think that is racist, but they're Caucasian, so what are they going to do? Throw a meatball. Meatball a medley. I actually work with a few Italians, and I'm pretty certain they don't know. This is the way I talk about them behind their back. They suspect. Okay, this guy is really dangerous, and we should probably run away.
Seems to me
I
like
don't really want to be like quaffing too many potions, but every time he's hitting me, it's hurting quite badly. Are we going to get away? Oh, even worse. I think he's going to let us just walk around the corner. Oh no, he's there! Run! Oh wow, my body would have just fallen down the stairs. Come on, Flibble Tits. A lot of mage fights is just all about that early game. It looks like he's got armor on, ghost armor, is it? Which is just a very, very decent spell. This is really not ideal. If he comes around the corner, we're okay. If he stays where he is, we're in real trouble. Is that the extra 6 acid damage? Honestly, it's just such a good spell. When you're a decent mage, to do like 3 damage, potentially 5 times over in one spell. It's incredible. Can we? Can you? Hello? Are you still here? Ooh, okay, this is the way to do it. He's there. We've got to be careful because that's a really short distance for a Melf's acid arrow. Oh, and that is ridiculous. I really thought I had the timing down at that point. He must be out of spells by now. I'm confident he's out of spells. I'm so confident. I'm 100% confident. Casting failure. Oh my god, and it's a lightning. What a dangerous spell to cast in a bedroom like this as well.
seems to me like these men want a little trouble.
So, of course, the best way to do it would be to attack him without even talking to him first. Not a bad, just general rule in life, by the way. Just get the jump on them. 100% aggression. 100% aggression wins a lot of fights, by the way. That's the reason why a lot of people have a difficult time in fights. It's because one person is just super aggressive, and the other person's like, hey man, I'm not even like warmed up to this. 100% aggression. That's what they used to teach soldiers in World War One. Like 100% aggression, and then for like 5 seconds, and then turn around and run in the opposite direction. I wish I was making that up, but that was for people who maybe aren't used to having to bayonet people in the neck professionally. Nice little ring there. I realise my arm is still pretty poor. Look at this little fruity man. Well now. Elminster. I don't know too much about Elminster. I mean, I know he's like a high collectible, probably Magic the Gathering card at this point in his life. But he is, yeah, very famous within the Forgotten Realms. To be honest, Dungeons and Dragons to me is just Forgotten Realms. The whole, like, the rest of it, I don't even know what the normal Dungeons and Dragons is called, but it's always been Forgotten Realms, and it's always really just been because of the glory of this this game and the many others, all the way through to like Neverwinter Nights. And we actually got enough money now for Shadow Armor. I don't know, this might be the best armor for me I can possibly buy. But we're going from 2 to -1. So that's a 3 improvement. Like, I don't know if you want to call it a +3 or -3 improvement. When the armor gets into minuses, it always gets a little bit confusing. But look, the lower your armor class, the better. And at -1, we're essentially, from 2, we're essentially much harder to hit than we ever used to be. It's quite a simple sum to work out, like Thaco and to hit. But it is, I mean, it's not worth explaining because most of you watching this will know it better than me. But it was one of the criticisms of the game about how just the most people who wanted to get into this game found that whole like armor system quite confusing. So unfortunately they changed it in later versions and didn't make it better, because this is the perfect, like, Dungeons and Dragons
I lay claim to
2nd
this.
edition, which this is based on, is the best Dungeons and Dragons. When it got to like Neverwinter Nights, I think it was maybe 2.5, and then they moved to 3. No, trash tier. But I mean, like, Neverwinter Nights is like 8 out of 10. Well, this is 14 out of 10. So And I didn't expect zombies just to be walking around. I'm really not looking for bards in this place. We do find Poe, and he has some great stories, though, and songs, should I say. The Knights of the Days Hence. Oh, here we go. Let's sit down, lads. That's a good way to get your 15-minute nap in. Let a bard just sing a song. It's quite good, actually. And we gave him 10 gold. I was tempted to pickpocket it back. But pickpocket it back. Do you know, the more I play a thief, the more my voice changes. Started to sound a little bit like Michael Caine. Greetings, little ones. You have the look, experience, travellers, and a few of you look to be fine warriors. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I could do a Michael Caine impression. It started off okay, and maybe I was overly encouraged. But we're fighting now, who will forever known as Meliam Caine. And he is very good at combat. But unfortunately, he refused to put decent armor on. If he had plate mail on, he would probably be one of the hardest fights in the game. Other than the fact he's a warrior, of course. You can kind of cut him around with a bow and arrow, whatever, or sling. Just a throwing knife. But he hits very, very hard. And he actually hits very often as well. Part of that will be because of the item he's got around his wrists, which is what we're after. So that's why we are whittling him down. Just taking a few breaks, we can cast our Cure Light Wounds just to get our hit points back to as close to max as possible. I mean, damn, he's hitting on a 13 there. Oh, nice. And finally we're hitting with that poison. And he's looking a little bit sicker than he used to. A little bit more like a half-orc. Now, we'll only do, I think, maybe 10 damage with the poison. But it's great just for interrupting. But we can just let that play out. Enjoy ourselves. So that's almost like a free hit, really, at this point. 32 damage he did. What? That is incredible. What an incredible, like, final move for him to bust out just before his death. And this was the reward. These gauntlets. We'll get into that once we identify it. But wow, what a great... I'm really pleased that he did so well at the end there. We've rested, and we've come up against Carso. Not too far away. And she seems to have picked up a jar of pickles, which is well past its sell-by date. This is actually quite cool. Like this whole thing could be like a Love, Death, Robots episode. And I didn't realise it was actually only when I think maybe I finished after this fight. I was like, let me just look up Kark and see if he's a tough fight. I think he's considered to be one of the toughest fights in the entire game. So he's pretty much at this point immune to almost everything we can throw at him. And I'm chucking on my Boots of Talos there, just so if he casts another lightning bolt, we take half damage. He would have done 39 damage then if we hadn't resisted half of that. Luckily he's wasting some spells on Melf's acid arrow. And we can heal as much past as possible, but he's stacking them up. We still haven't got close to attacking him. It might be because he's immune to normal weapons. I think that might be the minor globe of invulnerability. Oh, yeah, go. Protected from normal. Oh, protected from normal missiles. He's shielded, though. And so what we're going to do is from a distance is grab Caster's stuff and then run away. And we'll go and commit a genocide somewhere else on the map. Brother, what have you done? We are peaceful people. This will be some kind of cathartic Vietnam roleplay here. Tell you what, actually, I mean, jokes aside, because that isn't a very good joke, and it's probably a bit callous. But if you ever have a chance to listen to some podcasts of some of the guys that were in MACV SOG groups in Vietnam, I mean, they were in their 20s, and they were blowing up bridges and stuff. So this is where they summon Ursa the cave bear because of the genocide that I've caused, which I thought was very cool. However, Ursa the cave bear, he's not a friend. He's not a friend. So I thought, oh, he's attacking me. No, he's attacking one of his own. Look, he's just he's bloodlust. He's got a taste for smart blood at this point. A taste of that blue flesh. We do need to be a little bit careful because he actually is probably pretty tough. I think at this point we're at a decent level that we can probably take a bear on. And it's a very poetic and cool way to end the genocide that we're causing. But yeah, the Mac Sog podcast you can listen to, honestly, they are incredible. Some of the stories, incredible. And these guys were so young doing it, and then having to do the crazy things they did, and then get back into normal society. Many of course couldn't, but many of them were like, yeah, you know, well, we did it when we were over there, and we came back, and you know, I've just got to remember now that I can't stab that guy in the head if I disagree with him. I'm like, okay, well, maybe not the neighbour that I'd want, but goddamn, they were tough as anything, and super ingenious. And still having to like battle like military tradition and stuff to make themselves super efficient. It's honestly, go and find it. You'll love it if you've not read into it or stuff, or listened to any of their stories on like I think maybe like Sean Ryan's show is the first one. And yeah, it's so worth it, guys. Anyway, I won't keep going on about it. We're in the Nashkel store, our nearest shop. It's not ideal, but we do find Legacy of Master Wade. So that Thaco is so good, and the damage, just the cherry on top. But that chance to hit, man, is so important. But we're straight into the next area. Just exploring the woods here. A lot of this wasn't like super familiar to me. But Brage, I'm sure that's a quest somewhere at one point I've heard of. Larissa is telling us basically to run away because Brage is just come back from Vietnam. What can I say? And he'd been given a two-handed sword. It's not looking good for anyone getting close to him. And this is all his destruction, by the way. He's just, I don't know, backflipped off the horse and cart and then chopped that horse in two. But he's posing a riddle to us. And let's do this in real time together. It has neither mouth nor teeth, and yet it eats its food steadily. It has neither village nor home, neither hands nor feet, and yet it wanders everywhere. Wind? It neither country nor means nor office nor pen, yet is ready for a fight. Could be wind. Always by day and night there is wailing about it. It's wind. It has no breath. Yet to all it appears. Thinking probably death. It's not going to be the circus. We'll go with death because it's not wind. Have I done it right? It's horrible. Oh, I think by solving the riddle, we've somewhat broken the curse temporarily, at least. There be a bounty on your head? Money hungry bounty hunters. Oh dear. Okay, so maybe that's the wrong option. We can take him out. Okay, he's hitting me on a 16. He's hit me twice. 20 damage on a normal attack. Anyway, and one of the other dialogue options after solving the riddle once again brings him back to the temple. And we are suggesting he gets the death penalty, but Naylor needs some help with the temple roof, so he's going to have to stick around till that's done at least. And that is actually another achievement that I didn't have. A lot of these quests I've done many times in the past, but not on my Steam version. This is really good. I had to look this up. So Daryl, and Larry. Hi, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl. I had to look this up because I didn't get the reference. But I asked for the autograph, and I was like, what does that even mean? So I did look it up, and I've got the clip for you.
I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. That's my other brother Daryl.
These are like recurring characters from Newhart, I think, an 80s like sitcom. But it's quite funny, some of the clips. They clearly were so beloved after one appearance that they ended up becoming recurring. Next thing we're going to try and do here is just charm this wolf, this other wolf, with our feminine furry ways. And bring him back to the point. I don't think I've done this quest before, by the way. I think there's too many like difficult fights in this area. And then the weirdest thing happened. He ends up being some ridiculous demon creature. And what's interesting is they must have had that demon model already in the game. But I don't think there's a single demon we certainly couldn't fight one because you're too low a level. But it's amazing that they actually had that like model already done. I thought this was the siren that kisses you at one point. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to run away. But it's just a dryad. All women look the same to me in my wolf form. And this is another like quest that didn't seem super familiar to me. Part of the reason why I'm just amazed that anyone would say these areas are empty when there's just so many like quests to come up against, just interesting encounters. First thing we need to do is pickpocket. Oh, actually, maybe she'll have more. But we've got some a pair of cheeky breakies.
I lay claim to this.
Let's stop. Oh, nice. Okay, that was okay. Worth. Let's put a lot of this stuff on the board. We don't really need the money at this point. Maybe we'll take the armor and leave the weapons. This pocket change for someone as wealthy as me. Duh.
Hey there. I'm Caldo. This is my brother Crumb.
It's my brother Crumb. This magic tree. I bet you if you said, let's do it, big fella, or whatever, then he'd be like, he'd almost say the same thing. How tough do we think these guys are? Oh, it's not looking good for them, I'll be honest. One of the things I ended up doing, and whether this is worth it or not, I'm not sure, is just if you get attacked by multiple creatures, sometimes just reposition myself. Unfortunately for these guys, I'm at a high enough level that this is not going to go well for them. I can actually loot his friend's corpse while he's attacking me, and still attack him. Nice. Oh, I did some decent stuff there. I'm guessing that's a club +1. I've never used a club, I don't think, in any of these games before. I know there's some decent ones in Icewind Dale. Maybe even one of the best items in the game. Still never done it. Nice. Look at this. This is just idyllic. Little area here. Even like little cave. I mean, even now, I'd take my shoes off and go and climb in that cave a little bit. Just to see what's in there. No, my luck. A grey ooze. And that'd be it. R.I.P. There's a dire wolf outside of this cave as well, so I'm assuming there's going to be some absolute madness in here. So I was very, very cautious. There was nothing in here. Oh, and then I was like, oh, pretty nice. So you could just walk in there and pick that up. That's pretty cool. You can also walk and pick up this dead cat. Maybe not so nice. I'm sure between, like, I don't know what else you can get. I know you can pick up Mellicamp, who's a chicken. You can pick up the cat. I'm sure there's a dead dog at one point, and there's a few dead people, so there's definitely a dead person run possible. And it's quite interesting that, I mean, this is like how different the world is when you've got things like priests. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just take it back to my dad who'll resurrect him again. You're like, oh, yeah, I suppose that is possible, but feels like it might be a bit of neglectful use of resurrection spell.
Me now. Me hungry.
Now, the sensible thing to do here would be to run away, let him chase me all the way, and then I can fight Gnarl on his own. But the reason why I'm doing this area, this is at the very like bottom left of the map. This is where Dinah here is being held, and where you'd normally go with Minsk in order to rescue her. But what I'm after, one, I just want to quickly check to see, because I think this guy's got the Gauntlets of Dexterity, which is like 18 Dexterity, so I kind of want to see if they're an improvement. I don't think they will be, because it's only +1 Dexterity to what I have right now. And it might still get overwritten by the fact that I'm a 17 Dexterity wolf. But the other thing I want is the tome that's in the corner here somewhere. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but I'm sure it's in one of the caves to the bottom, on the bottom left of this map. There they are. I think they're the Gauntlets of Weapon Expertise, and they might just be the Gauntlets of Dexterity. Ah, so yeah, interesting. You can get 18 Dexterity then. But I don't think that's going to be worth it. Because not only is the Thaco, which we'd be benefiting from, but you get that extra 2 damage as well. So I'm just cracking through these caves here, really trying to hope that my memory serves me well. I didn't want to look it up exactly, and then I finally saw it, and I'm like, oh, it's incredible that I kind of remember where that is. I don't remember exactly which tome that is, so we'll have to identify that and find out. But while we're here, let's just have a look at this area. There is actually a cutscene for this area as well that that they didn't bother even adding in this version. But there's a 3D cutscene for this area too. I think if we did another run, then I'd probably show you a lot of the cutscenes that I wasn't able to go through this run, because I don't want to show you every single one. I'll be padding the runtime a little bit too much. But we'll just crack through this as quickly as possible because many of you will have seen this area before. I just wanted to show it because I don't think I showed it in my Slingbad video. And it is a really cool like design of these little like, I don't know, prison bits. Like these cells with like gangplanks on and stuff. And I thought here I'd be quite clever, but never do this in real life, by the way. Never like back yourself into a corner like this because you're just going to, it's so much more likely to backfire. You've always got to be able to run away because discretion is the better part of valor. And it also is a very important part of survival. Now I thought, even though they were going to like, two of them were able to hit me at a time because of my positioning and mainly because of the size of their weapons, I felt pretty confident going through this area, but this guy is very good at fighting. And actually with a weapon that size and his attack power, I have to be a little bit careful because even with 20 hit points, he could easily crit me to death. Inventory is more than full at this point, but we're going to say hello to Dinah here at least and just say probably not worth looking for Minsk. Find him in the graveyard. I mean, near the graveyard. So it is probably the least important one for someone who's as charismatic as I am, both in game and real. Well, in real. Oh my god, I can't believe I fumbled that. Prisma's been raised to 21. That is like a god, and I should know. Now this would actually be. I actually think these would be better gloves if they were +2 to melee, but they aren't. They're with missile weapons, so. Very overpowered for a ranged character, as we know. Not so useful for me. At this point, I'm like, do you know what? I've had this belt on for a long time, and it might be doing me more harm than good. So let's get a lot of stuff identified that we need to. There's actually some decent scrolls here as well. I'm not buying everything I need from Thanantir and High Hedge. I'm just buying like lots of stuff. One of the things we could get already, actually, is the Claw of Khazgaroth. Now, Constitution -2 isn't great, but the rest of it is pretty good. And one of the things that is very good, actually, is that armor class. It puts me down to -2. Most of these are like contextual. +4 versus missile attacks is really good. It is, however, a cursed item, so by wearing it, I'm now blurred, which is pretty cool. So you can see my character's got like a kind of ethereal form. And Big Brain, I'm going to use a protection from undead while having a look at Basilisk, who we went up to earlier on, and it didn't go very well for us. You are mad, monster. You cannot be my mother. And I actually think the idea of being like, go and atone. No. Guys like this can't atone. Look what he's done. There's no, what are you going to do? You can't rehabilitate this. He's absolutely mad. Plus, he might have some sweet loot. Just get a mercenary to kill him. And actually, scroll of protection from undead, I didn't realise was quite this good. But this is incredible, by the way. So we are playing proper clean-up crew at this point. Calcium Conference is over. Make no bones about it. Not a humorous ending. Try my best, of course, just to get one job done and end up finding quite another here. So I think we tried to fight these guys some time ago and they absolutely destroyed me. They were much better at fighting than I expected. But now, you'd be surprised how much better someone can be when they've got best in slot equipment about 3 levels higher. So still not easy to fight these guys. They are relatively tough. They are really struggling to hit me though. I think my armor class is now so good that a lot of creatures are really going to struggle to do anything other than hit me with a crit, which is very dangerous because it means I'm basically not going to get hit that often, but when I do, it's really going to hurt. Nice, very comfortable. And you can see how much stronger they are. Normally you get 35 experience, I think, from Hobgoblin, and those guys were up to 650. There can only be one wolf in this town. I'm also being chased by a chicken, so I need this whole thing to conclude before this chicken finds me. Forsooth! You're not an ordinary talking chicken. So, melee camp here, unfortunately, got a little bit impatient when it came to learning magic. And we are finding him in his polymorphed form. It's been over a month of him being in this. In fairness to the guy, surviving as a chicken in the middle of the woods, we got there just in time, really. So let's get Melicamp in my bag. Chickens are flightless domesticated birds, valued not only for their tender meat, but also for their eggs. A daily morning delicacy in many farms and cities throughout the Sword Coast region. Whoever wrote that should be working in video games, writing descriptions for items. Incredible. Thalantir doesn't have too much of a sense of humour about Melicamp, but it's just such a good interaction. This, yes, master. He's not a student. A student wishes to learn. Now, what's interesting about this particular quest? Fortunately, like the whole ingredient part, we need a skull, basically, from a skeleton nearby. Thankfully, that's relatively easy to find. I get a bit distracted by this hunting lodge. Of course, there were plenty of things for me to plunder. Fortunately, I couldn't even get into this, which really irritated me. But this little flowery grove here, I know at the right time of day will certainly spawn a skeleton or two. Doesn't look like it'll do it in the daytime, so we'll rest and be interrupted eventually by this, which, yep, is a skeleton. And thankfully, at my level, poses 0 risk. And it's the skull we're after. So let's get back in, provide this to Thalantir, and hope that Melicamp can survive this particular spell. And unfortunately, he doesn't. Now, I seem to remember him surviving, so that really surprised me. I thought, actually, and it's actually quite interesting here when he says that you shouldn't really feel responsible because, you know, his body just couldn't cope with it. But I was like, are you sure that's the only... So I thought, let's just roll this again. Because I've got a feeling it might be like a 50-50 chance. Yeah, and I was right. So he survived the second time. I don't know if it's necessarily better him surviving or not. But it was nice to see both outcomes. And just generally get the feeling that, you know, so many quests are so binary, like, oh, you do this and then this is the outcome. It's just cool that the idea that even with a powerful mage, things might go wrong. Like, he might be as powerful as he claims to be or actually is, but a lot of it's still up to chance. So I'm just comparing the whistling sword here. This is a short sword, which is a +2 against my dagger of venom. The damage is slightly better, but it doesn't have that poison tick, and I also don't have the proficiency that I'd need. And talking to the temple there happens to conclude the Basilisk quest. Neville here immediately looks like he's trouble. So I'm going to call what I believe is a bluff and find out that it's not. That in fact, one of the trees nearby was completely made of hobgoblins. Now, the hobgoblins I know we can definitely take out. However, when they're in their ranged form, they definitely have a much better chance to hit. I think just ranged at early levels is so much more dangerous than melee. And it's just me and... what? Okay, that's why he's the leader of the gang, right? So Neville happens to be one of the greatest swordsmen that's ever lived. So I don't quite know what we're going to do. Old Neville Longbottom here. I'm getting pelted by arrows as well, which isn't good when you've got 4 hit points. I mean, look at that. 1 health. Oh my goodness me. I think we might just have to dip here. This is probably what I do in real life, is use my power of being a wolf. Maybe we could just get a few more heals in. Maybe, just maybe, the power of the wand. Oh my god. Who was there? He was there last week. Let's keep healing up. 18. It's not really not going to be enough. It's probably only 2 hits from him. We're going to need a lot more than that. I think in this particular run through, we haven't actually hit the guy once. He's also just got a huge amount of hits. I mean, I know they normally add in like a few just like nonsense hits, which don't really do much. Wow, that was cool that we ended up just smashing him so easily at the end there. But yeah, they add in quite a few hits of just to make combat look like more's going on than it actually is. That's why you kind of have to look at the dialogue box down the bottom to see actually how often you're hitting, but he was still hitting pretty frequently. So Jared here, we are able to pick his pockets and get what look to be some very fashionable winter boots. But he wants us to murder some local wildlife, which we are actually quite good at these days. So let's see what the bear looks like. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't expect a polar bear. Polar bears have a place in my heart, of course. Mainly because of their phenomenal utility within the Icewind Dale, the hardest difficulty Icewind Dale run that we did, and yeah, the fun that we had with mega groups of polar bears, summoned polar bears, and how ridiculously good they were at combat. So I think once again they just have a very, very decent attack speed. They also do a huge amount of damage, but I think we look like we're going to be winning this quite comfortably. 900 experience as well. It's not bad for a bear. That lumbering oaf could have helped me there if it weren't for young lumbering oafs like yourselves. That actually sounds quite endearing. It sounds like it should be an insult, but it actually sounds quite endearing. Now this bridge was stacked. This is like we've made the hardest map possible. And this is what it looks like. Oh, these are actually ogre berserkers as well. Yeah, we don't want a part of that. One at a time is still going to be very tough. Ogre berserkers are, much like their counterparts, extremely tough, but their chance to hit and their hit points are just improved. Yeah, I mean, this is not going to be good, is it? I knew that was going to happen. We've got some poison rocking on this guy. Oh, nice. Okay. That definitely took a few attempts. I'm not ashamed to admit that to you guys. Now, we are going to have to take these hobgoblins out. I think we're just going to have to leg it, actually. My plan was to cut through them, but the ogre berserker can basically walk over these hobgoblins, so we've got all the fun of fighting another berserker, but with none of the health to do it with. Eventually, we just get more often than anything. We just get a bit lucky on the old rolls there. It's so annoying to see how bad their equipment is, and yet how strong they are. So look, the reason why I'm showing how much experience I've got there is because I have to be very, very careful with the cursed claw that I carry. Because of my constitution being lowered by 2, it will actually affect the amount of hit points I get per level. And the min-max of me does not want to be gimped in a dragon fight in Baldurs Gate 2 because I couldn't be bothered to go back in Baldur's Gate 1 and remove curse. So we've removed the curse. That's why we don't look quite as blurred as usual. And we're just going to try and get as much experience now. Just that tiny little bit more experience we need to get over the edge. And then we can enjoy ourselves. Put the claw back on once we get the level up. And maximise the hit points that we're getting. This is really cool. I don't remember this, but very happy. She even gives you a little bit of advice about how they're weak to fire, which I think is cool. I love, like, that's the way you kind of find out about the properties of certain creatures. Whether they actually take bonus damage from fire, I don't know. But I hope they do. Great haircuts, by the way, these guys. The more I look at it, the less comfortable I am now. I've realised it does look like they've just got, you know, kind of big afros and dark skin. But let's move on quickly and we'll get to the good stuff. Thaco again reduced by 1. And we even got a bit of lore there as well. Open lock's now up to 60. That should be more than enough. And we're going to put a little bit into hiding shadows as well. I'm actually thinking, I mean, everyone's going to be really annoyed that I don't use set traps. Set traps are really good. I know they are. I actually have done a solo trap. This is years and years and years ago. Well pre-YouTube. But I did I can't remember exactly what the character was. But it had a lot of traps. And the traps were so overpowered, it kind of ruined it slightly. Like the last fight was trivialized. So Galor wants to just talk to me quietly. I think doing it that close to his current employer probably isn't the best thing to do. He wants me to betray Charleston and Nib, but I refuse. So I want to see what this guy's got going on. Now the idea that someone has had to design this for just this quest, and so many people might not even see it, is a real testament to the love that's gone into this game. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. Like a crazy anthropologist, or even not just a passionate anthropologist, who's having to like go through these old tombs, and of course there's so many like vested interests for people, you know, to try and get the loot from it. And it looks like we've got some crazy diggers here. Careful you say that right. But we've got some crazy diggers here, all wielding spears as well, which is a little bit intimidating. But it looks like they've taken some damage from some Cthulhu-like madness that's overtaken them. This is just super cool. Like, it's so easy to just skip this environment completely. Luckily, old Charleston Nib doesn't look like he's likely to be affected by this. And I think we'll grab this idol. This will just look lovely on the shelf back home. Perfect for the mother-in-law, that. They screamed in ancient tongues, but he recognizes the word Khazar. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I thought maybe taking that idol would have... And unfortunately, he's also shouting Khazar. Well, look, it's you can have it back, but I need something to give my mother-in-law. So let's just have a quick... Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. You can have it. I don't want it anymore. He doesn't even want it. It's back there. Right, let's just get out of here. We've definitely overstayed our welcome. I'm assuming there's going to be some party of 6 up here to have to fight. Thankfully, there wasn't. What we have found... You there! Tell you what good conversation is, who would make a good... I mean, they'd never do it because of the dark skin, but who would make a good Dritz to Erden? Like, what actor would make a good one? I'm trying to think who it could be. Let's be relatively soft-paced, but you also want this to be quite sly. You almost want it to be a bit like a Sean Bean, although he's a little bit rough. What about Jared Leto? Is he too old now? Probably is. He's got kind of like the... I don't know. No, I actually really hate that suggestion now. So, Dritz is probably one of the best fighters in the whole of the Forgotten Realms. And within this game, he is also one of the best fighters. So he absolutely dominates. Not only does he completely tear through that entire group, taking almost no damage whatsoever, he's also got cleric spells. And even though I'm desperately trying to run away, yeah, he's got charm, which is a complete game ender. God knows what he's going to do to me. So we'll have to come back to Dritz, I think, at some point. But what we're after now is the second book. The second of a few that we're after. This is one of the last books, I think, that might be outside of Baldurs Gate. Now, these sirens are an absolute pain to have to fight. Mainly because of the noise they make. I don't remember it being quite this loud. But they really do not like wolves whatsoever. They also have some of those frustrating spells in the game. A lot of, like, confusion, rigid thinking, all these kind of, like, horror-type, brain-bending spells. So I'm going to do the only right thing to do, and that's hide in shadows and run straight past them. I don't think they have anything other than the experience that they drop, which is very significant. But we just have to try and make sure we avoid this little area. I love the little boat there as well. And this is just the kind of thing that would kill me if I was actually in the Forgotten Realms. Because it only takes one hit, there it is, and that's it. You're dead. What can you do? Never interrupt a carrion crawler sunbathing. I don't think I've ever seen one outside of a cave other than here, so it's quite interesting they decided to put one there, like a sandworm. Some kind of vacationing carrion crawler. Now, there is quite a dangerous fight here. This is kind of the second big group of sirens, including like a special character there in Sill. But let's just bypass all of that nonsense and get into this glorious cave. Now, these flesh... Oh, my God. Okay, so I was like, oh, are there traps in here? I can't quite remember. These are the flesh golems, of course, that look like those ogrillions from the beginning. From the beginning of the game. Who gave me some fear just because they look so dangerous. Okay, maybe we could just take the damage and keep going. Bat of death. Sorry, dude. R.I.P. That's what we're after. Try and hit that hide in shadows again. We are going to hit some nasty traps here, but Worth it. Yes, there it is. We've got no room for anything else. Let's just do a quick, like... We don't need any of these gems anyway. We need a gem bag. Potions. Yeah, let's just whack them all in. Oh, nice. Okay, there's some decent stuff here. Oh my god, and just the old glancing blow as we walk past. Just a quick thump in the spine.
The shadows shroud me.
Oh, nice. That's a really good... that's a really clutch hide in shadows there. Especially because the bats are preventing me from going through. Get out of the way, bat boy. Okay, not a great fan of the fact that these seem to be, I don't know, triggered somehow. We're going to hide here. The thing is, I can't just run outside because of all those sirens out there. I know what's going to happen. I'll get my hide in shadows break just at the wrong time. Maybe we'll just try and take one of these out. Okay, damage is very decent. This could be a pretty fair fight, to be honest. Oh my god, the damage. Wow. 2,000 experience, though. Worth. Probably worth maybe trying to sleep here, actually. And then fight the others. So that's exactly what I did. We should get a little bit of extra plus to hit there. You don't get the full backstab bonus, unfortunately, that you do with a normal thief. Which is super, super clutch. That's one of the real, like, downsides of the swashbuckler kit. Okay, that's one way to end the run. Takes a long time to find some of these traps. They are super tough.
The shadows shroud me.
This guy is having a piss up against the wall. Perfect. Straight in the crotch. 20 piercing damage there as well. Oh, textbook stuff. Interestingly, the flesh golems are unaffected by poison. That is interesting. For me. Maybe not for you. But I would assume because they're just all flesh that poison would be actually something that would course through. Now, I realize at this point a lot of people will be like, why haven't you not got the Claw of Kazagoth on? Why not? I don't know. I actually really just don't remember. I think I maybe convinced myself that a lot of these are spells. No, sorry, a lot of these are save versus death, which is actually worse when you've got the Claw on. But actually, nearly all of them are save versus spell, I think, which would be improved by wearing that. So I can only apologise for being smooth-brained. And this is what we're doing. Once again, the old scummy, letting them cast and then run away. Because they're all three of them at the same time casting Dire Charm, which would be, even for a party of 6 charging into this, would be horrific.
The shadows shroud me.
I mean, if you actually lived in the Forgotten Realms, the amount of, like, pre-casting you'd need just to, like, go for a walk safely would be ridiculous. Now, we seem to have been spat out into a slightly more dangerous... Oh, no, this isn't good. I thought they'd run out of spells. That's why they decided to venture towards the cave entrance. Wow, and they also happen to be incredible archers. But I'm hoping that they're going to come in. Here we go. They are actually very, very squishy. What a racket. I mean, this is just saving people's eardrums. No wonder they haven't got husbands. It's such a noise. And it seems like that the more annoyed I get, the harder it is to hit them. So that kind of checks out. Decent, though. 2,000 experience, very decent. My boy! I always really like this quest as well, by the way. I think I tried to, in the thumbnail, add in the Lighthouse. Just because I think this is such an iconic part of the Sword Coast. It actually took me ages just to find which map connects to the Lighthouse. So that's part of the reason why we're doing so many of these like little sub-quests, is because I just couldn't remember the way. But, you know, hopefully you guys just enjoy wandering around Sword Coast as much as I do. We need to try and hit max level at some point anyway, which probably shouldn't be too difficult, but without doing a lot of these little extra quests, then we're only making the game harder in the long run. Or maybe the short run, but anyway, the boy is nowhere to be seen. He's clearly dead. But I do just want to make sure we uncover the map around here so we can see the lighthouse in all of its glory when we zoom out onto the mini-map. But just such a cool environment. The idea of being able to like repair that up and have like people in there you can rescue, and oh man, it's a bit like the castle in Baldurs Gate 2, which I'm really looking forward to. Diarne's Keep, is it? And this is what that cave was all worth it for. The Manual of Bodily Health. All those bodybuilders in that cave, their combined wisdom into one journal. And that's it, Constitution raised by 1 permanently. Now, unfortunately, we still don't really benefit from that too much because we only had 16 to begin with. We got the +1, but then we also get the -2, unfortunately, from the claw that we've got. So, despite getting +1 more, I kind of actually wish I put 1 more point into, or to be honest, I wish I'd maxed that more than in maxing out intelligence, because with the chances of us getting closer to a higher constitution to be able to improve or get close to having a regeneration. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking too much about this, but you live and learn.
The shadows shroud me.
We're going to struggle to get hidden for this particular fight, but we're now moving on to the second part, which is getting through to the bandits. The second kind of major quest after the mines of Nashkel is killing the bandits of Cloakwood. And what an opening. What a time to be chatting. When your friend's being blown into giblets. Now there's a laugh. So I'm going to do the old, go on, let me join you, mate, please. And he's like, nah.
Suffer in my storm.
You got room for 1 more? Nah. Can I play football with you guys? Nah. My dad works for Nintendo. No.
Suffer in my storm.
Well, this is a super satisfying fight to be able to go through here. Everyone's got extremely vulnerable crotch. We found the flaw in that particular armor, and we made them suffer. Let's have a look. Riken. Oh, it looks like he's got some decent armor, and I've got to say, the shield helps. He's got a good armored look, but I think the reality is showing itself. Well, okay. He's a big boy. We're gonna have to potion up. This looks really risky. I think maybe even 1 more. 21 should be more than enough. He says more than enough.
Suffer in my storm.
Fully confident. Actually, probably didn't need it, but there you go. Better safe than sorry. That is probably what I do in real life.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend.
I was super confident at this point. A wyvern. Definitely gonna take a wyvern out. The poison. 5 per second. 5 per half second. It was incredible. I'll show you the actual cutscene there, because the real cutscene they put in, the new cutscene, is terrible. But look at this. This looks incredible. And the problem is that they've used the same sound, but they've not got any of the animation. So you just hear this like someone getting slapped on the back of the head, and you're like, what?
The shadows
Anyway.
shroud me.
I'm sure they had their reasons. I'm sure a lot of it was money related, but I'm still glad they did it. We are fresh now on the trail of the Cloakwood bandits. And the best thing we can do to them
This may be
is rip their limbs off with our powerful jaws and steal their gold. It's not really stealing if they're dead, is it? And the archers we've got to be worried about. But these chill hobgoblins, look, they are better than a standard hobgoblin. You can tell by the fact that they've got that slightly better Star Trek outfit on. Starfleet Command outfits on here. I'm not sure if that particular yellow is going to be conducive to being hidden in the forests, but presumably because they are the executive command branch, then they don't need to go out too much into the woods. Quite an impressive yurt system they've got here as well. And that, I didn't even realise this was Ardnor Crush for the longest time, but man, what a way to go. Being poisoned to death and someone just casually walking off. I did have a quick look in this cave up here, by the way, which is full to the brim, by the way. But I thought better than trying to fight all of those. I could just not. There We really want to like lure these bandits out one by one. I did a quick like recce at one point just to see like how often the bandits are, how spaced out they are, and they are like very, very evenly spaced. So it's a real nightmare of like trying to lure them out. As soon as you like melee attack one of them, there's like two others that come in, and within like you can see like here, man, they're just spaced out almost perfectly just to ruin your day.
So I kicked him in the head till he was dead.
That voice line for the bandits that kicked him in the head till they were dead just lives in my head a lot. It's such a horrible, it's just so horrible that you're like, yeah, they really are horrible bandits. If it wasn't obvious from their many crimes, then them saying that is like, yeah, probably not the good guys. What is that? Oil of speed. I'm not sure if it is, for those that know. There's a shop in Baldurs Gate. I think it's the first shop that you get to, which is full of potions that are all counterfeit. And drinking them is not good for your health. But what a cool idea to have like potions that sound like they do what they should do, but because the bottle's slightly different from the usual, you should be suspicious. Now we're clearing out the bandits around, but unfortunately we've ended up with this lugger-headed lout. Horagot's Kozan. Oh, unfortunately he's got a little archer friend as well. This guy, I can't seem to hit him. Something about my puny paws versus his plate mail armor, so we're gonna have to resort to some hit and run tactics here. I think unfortunately by this point I've turned on the if you see an enemy it auto pauses the game, and when you do a Benny Hill scene it's quite annoying. But there's nothing 8 potions can't fix. And actually, if we do manage to like get out of sight, we might be able to hide in shadows, and then we just get a bonus to hit. This could be a very expensive fight, though. This guy is clearly extremely tough. I definitely feel like under-equipped. This makes me very worried about later in the game. There are creatures much harder than this guy. It's a shame you couldn't just hit him with just a bout of poison. Then we probably only need another 2 hits left, but we might need as many as 3 at this point. Oh, this is nice. Leaving shadows. Oh my god. Oh, what a way to pause it. That is so cool.
I can carry no more.
So we just came from the shadows and just burst through him. While we are hidden, let's just have a quick look at who we're up against. So it's kind of like a nice split. There's like half the party outside and the other half inside. And luckily these guys, well, one of them looks like he's just a normal bandit. And unfortunately Creedus there, who went down so easily, I kind of assumed he was a normal bandit. Yeah, just didn't really have the constitution to put up much of a fight. I'm guessing for a non-stealth character, closing the distance with him would be quite a painful affair. Part of me is thinking we just like store some stuff in that corner. We're running out of space for scalps and gems and things. Annoyingly, a lot of these locks are too good even for me, which is annoying because I've invested quite a lot of points into big locks at this point. So to come up against these at this point is really annoying. So I think there's 2 that we can't open out here, and you know they're going to have the best stuff in. So we'll rest up and then we'll make a decision on what we're going to do with those.
Sorry, friend, but you've got a date down under.
Now, I'm not sure what that accent was, because it started off as one, definitely ended as another. But that might be why he's ended up as a bandit, because of the brutal bullying he had at the hands of people like me. Now, we've got triple threat here, the second half of the party. Nice, okay, as long as the mage doesn't cast anything too much, we might be able to get this. Oh, perfect. Now, the unfortunate thing that's happened here is we have been poisoned, so we're going to have to get a antidote potion out just to sort that out before that damage gets too cumulative. And there he is, there, the hobgoblin, and he's only gone and poisoned us again. It's okay. I mean, look, considering I've survived the wyvern poisons of the deep woods, I think we're probably going to be okay. Maybe it's worth just trying to get Britic out of the way here. If we could just get one more decent hit here and we'll be fine. And then we can take this guy out. Nice, comfortable. Hacht. I think we've got him too. I don't want him to like get too far into that room. That's his AI. Oh, he's in melee mode. No chance, mate. And there we go. Without spoiling too much, the mage outside didn't last very long. But I can inform you at this point, based on the length of video, we're going to be ending it there, guys. I really hope you enjoyed up to this point. I've had an absolute blast so far. I promise, 1 week from today, I'll get out the second part. So subscribe if you want to see that. And I'd love to hear your ideas of how you think it's going and what other builds you want me to try. See you in the next one.